camp roster, and what are you trying to get out of this week?
Well, I think overall the whole league's trying to change their development camps. In the past, it's been a lot of on ice and scrimmaging, so a lot of teams are just going to now it's skills and development and trying to see where these kids are, to see where they developed from last year to this year. It's more a meet and greet for the new players, so they're changing now. There's not much time off anymore with all these kids having their own personal trainers, or having their own personal power skating coaches and stuff. So really, at the end of the day, it's just more of a meet and greet and get to know the staff that they'll be working with, an opportunity to put the logo on.
Is it a smaller group than normal?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So the reason that's changed is because obviously our rookie camp now, we've used to have to bring in players because you'd have, 15 guys or 10 guys that you need to fill the roster. Now, because of new rules for rookie camp, players can play under entry-level contracts. So we have 4 lines and 8D going into it already. So you don't need to add players for this camp too. So.
As far as a guy like Juracek, obviously he was injured a lot last year. Where are the steps forward in his game that he can take?
He's healthy. That's the one. Obviously getting bigger and stronger. I know it's a redundant question and answer is what do these guys need, and it is. It's just time and growth within their bodies, maturity, and it just every year it brings a new outlook for these players. So now he's building. He's more strength. I think last year he came in at 170 or 165. He was injured a little bit last year again, but he's come in now and his workout program has got bigger and stronger. All these kids mature over those years, and that's what you're looking for.
A kid like Carbonneau, we touched on him in the last couple of days, but from your perspective, what really stands out to you about this kid?
You know what? Last night we had a little cooking class, and his maturity. He took charge. He's got leadership qualities in him. He's a bigger, thick kid. Obviously, he's a late birthday too, so. He has 1 year left of eligibility of junior, so it's going to be nice to kind of get him in here, get him on the ice. And that's the other thing, is getting to see some of these new players, our Russian that we took as well. Our Swedish goalie couldn't make it, but for the first time seeing these guys on the ice is nice too, to see what they're made of.
Is that an area, he's kind of described as that power forward mentality and mindset and whatnot? Is that maybe something that the organization was looking to get?
He's strong. Yeah, I again, it's the best players, right? He still scored 47 goals. He's a thicker kid, but really a guy with that's got that strength already on his body that can score goals. He's 1 year closer to pro than most kids.
With the CHL NCAA kind of changes this past year, with a guy like Mercick or maybe even Carbonneau, depending on his path, what are the differences from a team perspective when you have a guy going college route versus junior route?
Well, obviously it's changed the landscape of junior hockey and college hockey, but at the same time, this is our stance on it as an organization. We will never tell our draft picks or one of the prospects where they have to go or what they have to do. This is 100% with their decision, with their parents and their agent. We'll support whatever decision they make, but we will not make that decision for them. So schools are calling us about different players, and we just direct them right back to their agent, and they say once they make their own decision, then we'll support that decision 100%.
I get with a kid like Mercick, it's a totally different league playing junior, but did you see that kind of scoring in him?
You know what? It was tough last year. Again, he was a guy that was injured a lot. He had those migraine headaches that had to sit out. But our amateur scouts really liked his hands. He was always in on plays. He's got a good stick, especially in tight. He made quick plays. So they knew he had the scoring touch, and he had a really good year. So it's going to be a good challenge for him going to play against a little bit older competition now at Colorado College. So. It curtails sometimes. It curtails to what these players where they're at with their careers. This is a young player now that can make this jump and play at a little higher competition, but it allows him more time for growth too. So he's a little smaller guy, so maybe this extra year or 2 years allows him growth and maturity too.
With Lindstein coming over this fall, what areas of his game has he improved in the last year, and how excited are you to get him into North American hockey now?
Well, we're excited. He's had 2 years over in the Elite League. He went right to the finals this year. He played right to the end, so He's played in some big games, and now we're looking forward. This is the next step for his career, is to come over and see how he can handle the North American ice. He was good at the World Junior once again, so again, I hate to keep saying this, but just the strength, and just he's playing against men now, and especially over here, it's a little bit tougher of a league than the AHL. It's I would say a little more physical, so that's the next part of it, a step of his growth, and seeing how he can move the puck with these guys.
And with a smaller ice and a guy like him who's patient with the puck, like how do you feel like he'll handle, I guess, the busier game here?
We're hoping really well. Again, you don't know till they get into it, and you got to give them a little bit of runway too. Can't expect them to come over in the first 10 to 15 games that they're going to have some production and look like they belong. We just got to. There's going to be some growth with them, and obviously he's got a lot of really good things and habits. We're hoping that'll help and just instill lots of confidence in them, and that's what our development team's there for, to help these kids along the way, to making sure that they understand that this is just after 5 games, we don't make judgments. It's a whole stepping stone for them, and we see a huge difference from these kids that come over from Europe after that first year. They come in the second year, have lots of confidence, and know what the play is all about, and then obviously get used to the different size rink too.
Were you pleased with the steps that Pekarczyk was able to take?
Yeah, he had a great year. And I tell you, they raved about his character. His teammates loved him. He was really good in the playoffs for him. He's the type of kid that plays really big in big games, hard nose, and has a nose for the net. So we're excited for him. Obviously, again, a stepping stone. This is his 3rd camp, I believe. So he's going to turn pro this year, and we have a lot of young kids that are turning pro this year. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is the next steps here for him then?
Yeah, he'll be out there, obviously come to training camp and make a big impression on us. But we expect him to turn pro and have a good year.
I'm curious with Carbonneau, what does maturity look like in, I guess, a cooking class setting that you would?
Well, just someone that has a presence to him, and we see these kids come in and they stand around, especially our first-round picks, first-year picks, come in and they're kind of in the background. They're very quiet. This kid kind of took control of his class, and it was demanding, but he was telling, hey, tomatoes there, cut the cucumbers over there. So he has this presence to him, a confidence presence, and he does look like a natural leader.
Is that something you knew you were getting from him when he was picked?
To be quite honest, it was tougher this year because when you first meet someone, their character, you get to see something out of them, and we have talked over phone. So I never seen him play this year. Our amateur scouts knew that. Again, maybe that's the age. He's 1 year older than the rest of the kids, but I think our amateur scouts knew the type of character they were getting and player. But he just shows he's got a lot of great qualities.
What were they making?
Oh, they made flank steak, which was it was good, but the chicken and what else? Salmon. It was good.
Were you a judge? Or?
I was not a judge. I was hungry though. I wanted to be.
With a guy like Lucas Fisher, obviously last year very young for his draft class, and
The youngest.
Yeah, and captain and starting. Like, how did he kind of handle this transition?
It was really tough for him because they didn't have a very good team. So all the expectations and a lot of pressure was put upon him, especially being a defenseman, and the captain. I thought he carried himself really well. Again, sometimes the growth of these guys. It helps when I'm going to say always losing, but you're always put in tough situations. You're never getting on a roll. You're always trying to dig yourself out. And playing on a smaller team with a bigger frame than he was, he had to take care of the physical part too. So it was a good growth for him, and taking a leadership role with a lot of young players, which they should be better this year. But it was a good year for him because, again, getting knocked down and trying to pick up his teammates every game, I think it helps with his maturity.
How did Colin Ralph handle playing at the collegiate level?
Really well. Obviously, he was a World Junior team, a gold medalist. He's got a defined role, and now moving to Michigan State, and you've seen all the players going there. I think that obviously that team's going to be very good. And a lot of players that are going to Michigan State all have the same aspirations and dreams of him playing the NHL. So I think that they're collectively as a group, they're going to push each other, and I think that they're going to have a great year, and he'll benefit from it.
You've had a lot of success with these guys in the middle of the draft, developing them, getting them in the pros. How critical is that for the franchise?
Well, it's huge. Every draft pick, right? You when your amateur scouts make these drafts, in which Tony and his staff do an unbelievable job, and then they come within our development team, which I feel it's second to none with the players, with Glenn Wesley following the D, Matt D'Agostini and Chris Thorburn. I think they do an incredible job. Now we add Brian Elliott to that group too. So it's any draft pick you have, you're the tools and trying to get them to the NHL, and I think that with our staff, they've done a really good job. And again, it's not the first round picks or the seventh round picks. Collectively as a group, you try and get the most players out of that draft that you can to make the NHL. And we're again, our staff's part of the tool process. But at the end of the day, I think I said this last year. You can give them so much, but it's the dream guys like Colton Perry. Those guys put the work in. Once they put the work in, they understand. They're the ones that make. They're the players.
Stansel turning pro this fall as well.
He is, yes. Yeah, we're excited. He came actually and played, I think, the last 10 to 15 games with the American League team. Played really well. So it was it's actually a good transition for him. You know, from going from Europe last year, coming over to CHL this year, had a really good year with the CHL, and then coming with our AHL team. Got a good kind of grasp what pro hockey's all about so far.
And then just on your Russians, we don't really get the chance to see Susiev or Kromislav.
Either do I.
Yeah.
It's a really tough situation. Alex, our Russian scout's here this week, so he's really impressed with these guys. And again, for us, it's to bring them over here, to get them here, to see what the NHL is all about, see what St. Louis is all about. It's just hopefully another step that we can try and lure them to get over here as quickly as possible.
And they're both staying in Russia.
They both are, yes. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you too about just Quentin Burns and what did he show the organization last year?
Well, he took again. There's a guy that you don't know what you're getting until the player comes here, and then his first rookie camp was really good. Moving into this year, last year we took another step, and then obviously big expectations. Another one of our guys, young guys, was a captain of his team. Has a lot of leadership qualities, so it really helps in their growth and maturity, pushing other guys. So he's another guy that's going to turn pro this year, and hopefully has a good camp. And obviously Springfield, we're looking for him to play well there.